Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today I'm going to be doing a Borderlands 3 kind of review discussion, if you like, about the entire game, going over everything. So, right off the bat, there are going to be heavy, major spoilers in this, because I'm going to be talking about story, characters, and a bunch of other things. So if you do not want to be spoiled, stop watching this video, go and finish the game, come back and watch it then. You've been warned. I'm just letting you all know now. But yes, I've recently finished Borderlands 3. It's complete. I'm still going to be playing it because I've had a good time with it. But I want to go over some things about the game and the things I liked, the things I didn't like, and stuff like that, basically. So I'm going to go through it in order. So I'm going to do story and characters last because I think those are hugely important. But we're going to start with like one of the big things of Borderlands. It's all about that loot. It's all about shooting. Let's talk about the guns. The guns in this game, or as I should say, the gun manufacturers in this game are so different now that it really lets you have very different play styles, depending to, with people you're playing with or different characters that you're playing as in the game. For example, mostly way through the game, I discovered that Torgue guns, Torgue in this, have explosive properties. Most of them, you fire the bullets, they blow up, or you can switch it to impact, so that detonation, so you fire them and then when you reload they'll blow up, which is really useful for certain enemy types. But they have shotguns that are essentially grenade launchers, and because it's a splash damage gun, it's like, and I was playing Zane in this particular playthrough. My whole thing was about moving around, so I was constantly moving around and firing grenades, and it was insane. Like, once I got that gun, it completely changed things up. But the guns and the manufacturers are really cool. So like, Torgue is all about, you have these explosive weapons that you can then have to impact or detonation, depending on how you want to use them. That's pretty cool. Vladorf, I believe, is the one that has underslungs a lot of the time in their guns. So they have different firing modes. So like, you might have a gun that's like a machine gun, and then might have a shotgun on the bottom, or a sniper rifle with a shotgun on the bottom. I think they're also the ones that have micro rockets. I can't remember. That might be Torgue, but you basically have these different firing modes of their guns. Dahl, I believe, is rate of fire and like steady. I always forget to get confused between Dahl and Vladorf, but I think it's like rate of fire or something like that. Atlas being brought back in this game are really cool. They've got tracking bullets, so you can like fire a tracking bullet, dart, or whatever it is onto an enemy, and you can just fire and the bullets will automatically go and hit them. Those guns are pretty good. They're quite slow rate of fire though, that's the only problem with those ones, and they're massive. They look really cool. You've got the COV weapons, which have no reloading, they just overheat, but they chew through your ammo like so fast, so I didn't really use those. They weren't really to my liking. Jacob's classic sort of thing, very Wild Westy type guns, very powerful guns, no particular elemental effects or anything, but just serious power. I like using Jacob's guns. I like the revolvers, I like the sniper rifles, they're a lot of fun. You've got Malawan weapons, which in this game can switch between different types of elements, which is cool. So you can have one that have shock and one can have cryo, and you can switch between those on the fly, which is really cool. I'm probably missing TDR, which is great because those guns, when you throw them away, they turn into different things. I'm probably missing some of the other manufacturers, but basically all of the manufacturers in this have such different properties that even if you've got a gun that does less damage, it might have a much higher fire rate and much more like accurate and stuff. So you really have to think about what you want. So I generally was going with I was going with Atlas machine guns, and sort of like Dahl SMGs, Torgue shotguns, and then pistols could be anything really, like depending on what just suited my style at the time. But like, I kind of found a play style that worked really well with Zane and my build and things like that. But the guns in this are awesome. I got some fun legendaries. I've got some amazing, like, I've got like a super really powerful grenade launcher at the end. Very high rate of fire. A lot of my guns, I like to be able to fire do a lot of damage quite quickly. But with the combination of playing Zane the way I did, it kind of helped with my kill skills and things. I was constantly reloading and firing and doing extra fire rate and stuff. So the guns in this are really fun. They're even better than the 2. Like, I mean, going from 1 to 2, you're like, oh, the guns are massively improved. And then you go from 2 to this, and suddenly there's all this extra stuff. And I think that was one of the best things, and one of the things I wanted to see the most in this game, was how could they improve on these guns. And the fact that each manufacturer has different style guns, they have different sort of abilities, is awesome. Like, absolutely awesome. It's one of the best things about the game. especially as well, like the gun sound effects in this are really fun. The shotguns sound especially awesome. I wasn't overly keen on the sniper rifles to start with, but as time's gone on, some of the sniper rifles sound really good. A lot of the machine guns sound good. Overall, they just the sound, everything sounds very impactful when you're hitting things and things are blowing up, or like watching the animation on screen of the gun firing and the audio feedback you're getting. It's awesome. Really, really good to hear that. But yeah, the guns absolutely amazing. You know, you would hope this in this type of shooter, but they are top notch. Plenty of fun legendaries, plenty of really good, crazy weapons. Like awesome, like brilliant things. Moving on, then we've got like the new movement mechanics that they put in this game. That really, really fun. You can now slide and vault. And vaulting, I didn't really take too much advantage of as much as I thought maybe I could have. Sliding, on the other hand, really worked with Zane. So just to give you an idea, so I'll get on to like Zane in a bit, like how I played him, but just I played it so it was all about, I had an ability that the faster I moved, the more gun damage I did. So a lot of the time I was sliding around, moving, didn't really stop. I didn't really use sniper rifles with him or scoped. I pretty much just fired from the hip and just constantly ran around, which was a lot of fun. Quite late in the game, I find a relic that improves the speed of my slide by about 75%. Which then allowed me to get around super quick and do lots of gun damage as I'm sliding around and shooting people. But the slide in this, I didn't think I was going to use it that much, but actually it's like one of the best things. It's just a small addition, but I think it's such a huge addition. Being able to slide past an enemy in cover and like shoot them, or like slide into cover and avoid things, like really, really useful. Like both of them. The vaulting was fun because it meant a lot of the levels had verticality to them, which means you could get around. You could generally get to places. There was like paint splats in certain areas where you could be like, okay, I got to go up and do said thing, and that was a lot of fun. Like a really, really good small additions, but good additions, I would say. Like really, really fun additions to the game. Get on to the locations. So in this game, you don't stay on Pandora, and in fact a lot of the game you're off onto different planets. Varying quality, in all honesty. Like Pandora feels like Pandora. In actual fact, most of my favourite time was spent while I was on Pandora, and this is something I realised. It's like apart from you have Eden 6, which is like a jungle planet. You have Athenas, which is like kind of very monastery, gave me like an Asian vibe to this sort of very like calm planet. You then have I think it's called Necrodefeo, which is like the Iridian homeworld, and then you have Promethea. Let me get that right. Is Promethea the right one? Yeah, Promethea, which is the homeworld of Atlas. And honestly, the best times I think in the game are when you're on Promethea and when you're on Pandora. I think both of those feel really, really fun. Athenas was alright because it's actually quite small. There's only like really one area, and that's it. It's like more of an intermission kind of place. You're only going there for a very short part of the game. Eden 6, on the other hand, definitely outstayed its welcome. It was cool to be there, but the entire quest part that you're doing on that goes on for so long. I definitely got a little bit bored while I was doing that, which is unfortunate because there are some cool moments on that planet, but it outstays its welcome by a couple of hours. I was like, once I thought I was done with it, and then it wasn't, then I was back there, and yeah, and kind of some annoying enemy types and stuff there as well, but not the best planet. Necrodefeo was alright. Like, it's an alien planet. They did some fun things with that. You don't spend a huge amount of time there, but there's some fun quests and stuff. But I think overall, like, most of the planets were fun, but really when I was on Pandora, and especially when I went back to Pandora, that felt, I don't know, that just felt right to me. Even though I enjoyed some of the other places, I was like, no, I want to be on Pandora doing this stuff. Like this game feels very different in some ways to the other Borderlands games, and planet hopping definitely makes it feel very different. But I would definitely say that Pandora was the best. That definitely had the most love and care, in my opinion. It was the best place, the most fun I had. But the other ones were fun. Like, it was cool going off world, but honestly, I think, like I said, Eden 6 definitely outstayed its welcome. Going on from that, let's talk about the playable characters. Now, I've only played Flak, and I've only played Zane. Zane is currently level 41, and Flak is currently level 23. Flak is the character I've been playing through with Don Hayes over on his channel, and Flak was the person I wanted to pick, because he's basically a sniper, and I'm playing him as like a pure sniper with a beast, and he's all about his hunter-kill skills. Weirdly enough, I ended up playing similar-ish builds, but like with him and Zane, but yeah, so I'm playing him as, he's a sniper. that goes invisible. It's all about crit damage, so he's basically like just constantly going for critical hits, does ridiculous damage from critical hits, all that kind of stuff. A lot of fun. But this particular solo playthrough, I played through as Zane, the other character who, before I knew what Flak was, I thought Zane was going to be the sniper class. And I ended up going down the path of not having grenades and going with Sentinel, which is the drone, and going with the double ganger, Digiclone, sorry. And turns out that worked really well. I didn't use the shield once. I want to go back now and mess around with the shield to see how it's like. But I went down the, I think it's operative one. Basically, he has so many kill skills in this tree, and each kill skill is like, one's gun damage, one's reload speed, one's fire rate, health regen, things like that. And when you get to the bottom of the tree, you get an ability that is, once you activate an action skill, it automatically triggers all of your kill skills. So this meant that I could move, I had everything. So whenever I needed to get out of trouble, I could like chuck down the Digiclone, and suddenly all these kill skills would kick in. Start getting health regen, start moving quicker, firing faster, doing all this gun damage. And that was a lot of fun. Like, I will say I definitely shat on a lot of the skill trees before the game came out, and I still don't necessarily think they're all that interesting. However, in terms of gameplay, the way it translates is actually quite fun, and especially with the different weapons and the different relics and things that can adjust stuff and mods and whatnot. Like, I have an ability, one of his kill skills was he has a % to fire an extra projectile in his first 5 shots. Well, I inserted a mod that gave it so many points that I have a 90% chance of doing it. So then I was just doing extra damage for the first 5 shots, and especially with that grenade launcher I had, it was nuts. But Zane, yeah, I played him as a movement style kind of thing, so I was like sliding around everywhere, putting out the Digiclone. Towards the end of the game, I really started to get good with the Digiclone, where I was like sliding into battle, dropping it down, or putting it behind me, sliding in, teleporting out, having that be able to chuck grenades, drop grenades. Have it, you know, just that take whenever that got damaged, I'd heal. Really like crazy with that. And then with the drone, I had it so I could like launch rocket pods and have that real damaging kind of thing. And it was really fun. Like, I'm definitely curious about looking at the other skill trees more. I started to go down one of the others, which was more about like the Digiclone tree. But honestly, like, he is a lot of fun. He's also really funny. The dialogue they've written for him is really, really funny. So I found like playing through as Zane was awesome. Like, really, really fun. Fantastic character. I mean, same with Flak though. I've had a blast playing with Flak. I'm looking forward to carrying on that co-op playthrough, because Flak to me is everything I want. Kind of this sniper-based character. As for Mose and Amara, I'd probably play Mose next. That would be the next one I pick. Amara isn't really my kind of playstyle. I'm not a massive fan of the Sirens, but I will eventually give her a go, because I should probably be quite fun. But yeah, honestly, like, having now played more of the game, I can see what they're going for with the skill trees. They're very themed. Like I said, they're not necessarily the most interesting, but when put together and you include like all the guns, all the movement tech, everything, it definitely works a certain playstyle. And having this character who's basically bombing it around everywhere, sliding around, shooting things, being able to, every time I kill someone, reactivating these skills, you do get into kind of like a flow, and that's pretty awesome. Like, I will say that was a lot of fun, and that was a lot of just cool moments are happening, and I was like, yeah, alright, I get what they're going for now. So, in terms of Zane and Flak, both of them, fantastic characters. I still think Zero's my favourite in Borderlands 2, I think because I really liked how Zero had like the melee stuff. But yeah, both of them, both Zane and Flak, awesome. Okay, let's move on to the story, and this is where, you know, some people aren't going to care about the story, and some people are, and I don't know what my expectations were going into this. I think I just wanted to see, like, you know, from the trailers, we've got these 2 new villains. What's going to happen with the characters? Who's going to be in this game? Who's going to be the main, like, focus, and so on and so forth. So the overarching story is you have these 2 twins that are sirens that have basically managed to get together all of the bandits into like one sort of cult called the Children of the Vault, and they're basically like streamers, and they stream everything they do, and they've got all these fans, and it takes the piss out of all that kind of culture. And they are trying to open up something called the Great Vault, and this is where the game is basically kicking off, where you are trying to get the vault keys and stop them from opening these vaults. Now, throughout these adventures, you're going to meet a lot of the old characters. You know, Lilith, Tannis, Claptrap, play, you know, some of the main characters that you start with. You start with by meeting Claptrap, I think, or Marcus, and then Claptrap. You know, you've got all the staples there: Moxie, Marcus, people like that. A lot of people back from Borderlands 2. So Zero's in the game, Hammerlock's in the game, Maya, no Axton and no Salvador. So I'm curious if they ever use them again. But Zero and Maya make an appearance, and so do Brick, Tina, and Mordecai. We've also got Vaughn and Reese from Tales of the Borderlands turn up in this. So there's a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters. Hammerlock's sister Aurelia. I'm trying to think if I've missed anybody. You meet new people. We've got Ava, who's new. You've got Wainwright Jacobs is new. Balix. Trying to think if there's anyone else. I'm probably missing some people out, but there's a lot of new characters as well as old ones. There's a gunslinger guy. I can't think. Clint. I can't remember what his name is. Clive. Clint. I can't. I've literally forgotten. But there's a gunslinger like Wild West dude you meet as well. But all in all, like there's this ton of characters and stuff. But the game doesn't do the best job with some of these characters, and I think some people are going to be disappointed, because I know I was looking forward to Hammerlock, Brick, Tina, Mordecai, and honestly, like, Hammerlock was alright. I didn't think he was necessarily that well written in this game. He does have some funny dialogue, but as for that, like, Brick, Tina, and Mordecai, it was like they are woefully underused, and in a lot of ways they feel like they're here just for the sake of being here. Like, I know, like, I like Brick as a character. I think he's really funny. Tina is Jack's favorite character. Like, I think he's going to be, when we get to like seeing more of the game, he's going to be a little bit disappointed that she's not in it as much. She's got funny dialogue and she's well written, but she's not, I don't know, she's just not in it a lot. And then Mordecai is woefully like underused in this completely, and partly to do with that is because the game doesn't focus on a lot of these characters. The game focuses on Lilith, it focuses on Tannis, focuses on Ava, and then the Calypso twins. And then that's basically it. And then you get, there's also another character called Lorelei that you meet who like works for Atlas. Like, you get a big chunk of game where it's about Atlas and Malawan, and there's like this war going on, and you get to meet Reese from Tales of the Borderlands, and he's pretty funny. I like Reese. And he is a lot of fun. He's well written. Like, what they've done with him I really like. You've also got Vaughn, who's also from Tales of the Borderlands, and those guys don't ever meet at all in the storyline. In the credits, you see them together, but I was just like, what a wasted opportunity that you don't get to see these characters together. And that was one of the biggest disappointments, was I was waiting for that moment where Vaughn and Reese were going to like hang out and get some dialogue between them, and that never comes. But there are points in the story that, like, just, I don't know, just a bit like, the game kept taking me in different directions. So partway through the game, you got Maya on your side. Maya dies, so they kill off one of the Borderlands 2 characters, which I was kind of shocked about. I thought it was going to be somebody else, one of the other three, but no, she dies. It kind of makes sense in what the game's about. You've also got Aurelia Hammerlock dies in this game because you kill her off. You've then got you kill off both the Calypso twins. Lilith loses her powers throughout the game until she gets them back at the end, and then basically they kill her off at the end. So there's a lot of these things that happen, but some of it don't feel earned. The ending to this game isn't particularly satisfying. There is kind of a cool nod to the first game, where Tyrene, right at the end, they're trying to release the Destroyer. Now the Destroyer was the final boss in the first game, and he's like coming out of a vault, and you have to like blast him back into the vault, I think. And then she merges with the Destroyer, and it's the final boss. Doesn't seem as big this time. He's still a big dude, but yeah, you kind of kill them off, and it's like something this game definitely does better is its boss fights, but not all of them are amazing. There are a couple of boss fights in this game that just suck. And there's one with a teleporting dude who is like, that fight is broken, and I hate it. But most of them are alright. There's a couple that suck, but other than that, there's some fun ones as well. But the final boss fight's alright. It has kind of one kind of cool mechanic, which is where you can like climb up her back and shoot her in the head and things. But yeah, honestly, like, I'm just a little bit disappointed. I think some of the characters were woefully underused. I like what they did with Zero. I think Zero is really well used in this game for the portion that he's used in. I think they did a good job with him. Tannis is actually pretty funny when you find out she's a siren. The only downside is that they don't explain very well how she got those powers. She basically gets Angel's powers from the last game, but you don't know when she gets them. It doesn't really explain that, or at least I haven't found anything that really explains it. They kind of just go like, oh yeah, I just got them this siren. It's like, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of characters. I mean, Ava, who's a new character, she is a siren, and they try to like show her off in the game, but she's not that likable. Honestly, she doesn't really add much to the game, and and I just feel like I'm hoping that some of the DLC will address certain characters. Like, where's Fiona from Tales of the Borderlands? Where's Axton? Where's Salvador? Like, are they going to make a comeback? Are we going to get more focus maybe on Tina, Brick, and Mordecai? Maybe another D&D style type game? That would be kind of cool. I feel like a lot of these characters need to be used a bit better in certain aspects, and I'm hoping that if they are going to do 4 DLC packs, that they really take the focus on these other ones. And I kind of hoped as well in this game we were going to return to certain locations, or at least one location like they did in 2. But no, nothing of the sort. There's a lot of nods to Borderlands 2 in it though. But while I enjoyed the playthrough, while I enjoyed the story and the gameplay to a degree, there are definitely parts where I felt a bit let down. There's also Typhon de Leon, who, interestingly enough, is throughout the game you're finding these logs that he leaves behind, and you end up meeting him, which I didn't expect. And then you find out, as an even bigger spoiler, you find out he is the father of the Calypso twins, and I didn't even click like at all until I got nearer the time, and I was like, uh-oh, I think I know where this is going. But there's a lot to like here in terms of story and lore. I just think some of the characters were just woefully underused, and I think the ending's a bit like meh. But we'll see what they do with the DLC, and if they continue to like make more of these in the future, what they want to do. Because if they do kill off Lilith right at the end, it's like, well, who's going to lead all these raiders? Because Ava isn't that likable. Tannis is like got no people skills. I mean, there's literally nobody else they could have to do it. So it'll be interesting to see how they go with that. But yeah, I mean, overall, I had a very good time with this game. I will mention again in this video, the performance was still a bit meh. I knocked things down quite a bit and got it to run much better. I'm just disappointed that I can't run it on higher settings, which I should be able to do, but I can't because of just how poorly optimized the game seems to be. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, overall, I think this game is fun. If you loved Borderlands 2 and 1, you're gonna love this game. I think the story is a little bit disappointing, regardless of the funny. There's a lot of funny moments in it, but I think it is a little bit over disappointing. Eden 6 definitely outstays its welcome, but in terms of just raw Borderlands style fun of like shooting dudes, collecting loot, visiting things, doing really ridiculous quests, which this game has. Like, the quests in this game for the most part are really good. There's a lot to love here, and I'm having a blast with it. I'm going to go back and carry on playing and try and maybe like find the rest of you've got these little challenges like the hunts and claptraps and things like that. I'm going to go back and do all that. And and now I've got New Game Plus and Mayhem Mode and all this other stuff to do as well. So honestly, like, I've got loads more content to keep playing. So I'm going to be doing that for a while to come. But overall, I would say this is exactly what I wanted from a Borderlands game. I wanted more of the same, with just the right kind of quality of life improvements, with the kind of upgrades to certain systems. And I got that. And I can't ask for anything more, and I'm looking forward to seeing what DLC comes out, if those packs are going to be good, how much they add value, and which characters they focus on. And then, yeah, I mean, like, if I've spoken for all of this and it hasn't like swayed you, then you're probably not going to be into Borderlands. But hopefully, for those who have listened to this and watched it, will enjoy it and be like, yeah, okay, that was fun. And they are good. It is a good game. Overall, it is a good, solid game. The performance issues definitely bring it down a little notch in my eyes, but once that's all ironed out, this game is solid. It's a good game, and it's exactly what you expect from a Borderlands game, which is more than that's exactly what I wanted, and I can't ask for anything more personally. Thank you very much for watching this video today, guys. It's a bit of a long one, but I really, really wanted to talk about this now that I've finished it and how much I've been enjoying it, even with the sort of issues I've had. But if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content, and obviously comment down below if you've got your own opinions on the game. Obviously follow us on Twitter and Facebook and all that as well. And until next video, I'll see you then.